The tech industry operates on a simple operating procedure: build fast, release faster, and deal with the fallout later. By July 12, 2026, that relentless pace reached a boiling point where the creators simply couldn't keep up with their own creations. This timeline maps the last 24 months at OpenAI. Our model release cycles are shrinking to mere weeks. The exodus includes original founders and the very researchers who built the company's first guardrails. Their departure represents a significant loss of institutional memory regarding AI safety at the highest levels of the organization. Look at this organizational chart representing OpenAI's recent restructuring. Previously, safety operated independently and could halt projects. Now, the independent safety node is absorbed directly underneath the research division, putting the people evaluating risks under the same manager pushing for faster development. Releasing advanced systems like GPT-5 without independent oversight drastically increases the risk of unleashing emergent capabilities. These are unpredicted skills the AI teaches itself, like writing malware or generating misinformation, without developers explicitly programming them in. When oversight is viewed as a bottleneck, safety becomes an operational obstacle. The entire industry is forced onto an unchecked acceleration track, prioritizing speed over control. That same aggressive deployment strategy blew up in Meta's face over a single weekend. They launched a feature called Muse Image, an AI tool that scraped public Instagram accounts to generate synthetic photos of users, completely skipping the step of asking the creators for permission. This diagram compares two approaches to user data. The funnel on the left is an opt-in system, where users actively consent to participate. Meta chose the funnel on the right, an opt-out system. They automatically enrolled every public account in the system by default, forcing users to navigate settings to turn it off. The backlash was immediate. The SAG-AFTRA union, representing over 160,000 artists, alongside major Hollywood talent agencies, mobilized overnight. They threatened massive multi-state lawsuits over the violation of their right to publicity. High-profile artists took the fight public. Comedian and actor Hannah Einbinder explicitly called out the feature to her followers, creating a massive wave of negative publicity that Meta's public relations team could not contain. Exactly 72 hours after Muse Image went live, Meta officially killed the feature. They scrapped the entire project and retreated. A multi-billion-dollar tech giant was forced to back down. Organized public pressure and vocal pushback created enough friction to stop a massive, unwanted data harvest in its tracks. While artists were fighting visible AI tools, software developers were getting compromised by invisible ones. The rush to use automated AI coding assistants has opened a massive vulnerability, perfectly illustrated by a new threat called Ghostcommit. What you are seeing here is a generic PNG image file being scanned by an AI code review assistant. Attackers are using this normal process to execute a technique called prompt injection, embedding hidden instructions inside standard inputs to trick the AI into behaving maliciously. When the AI's optical character recognition scans the file, it doesn't just see the picture. It reads invisible instructions buried deep in the image's metadata layer. The AI follows those hidden instructions and blindly spits out the project's highly sensitive .env files. This exposes API keys, server passwords, and database credentials to the attacker without them ever touching the main servers. By integrating AI so rapidly into the development cycle, the industry effectively bypassed traditional human review. This created a new invisible attack surface, where malware hides in plain sight and traditional antiviruses don't suspect a thing. This acceleration extends to geopolitical shadow wars. Over a 2-year period, hacking groups linked to China and India simultaneously infiltrated the internal servers of the Balochistan police in Pakistan, extracting sensitive criminal databases and citizen records. The attackers bypassed heavily fortified military networks entirely. Instead, they targeted local civil infrastructure in a highly contested economic corridor, proving that police databases now hold the same strategic value as defense systems. Meanwhile, on Wall Street, retail trading apps are racing to keep up. Robinhood just launched an Ethereum Layer 2 network, aggressively pivoting from a standard stock trading platform into dedicated Web3 infrastructure. They are laying the groundwork to trade tokenized assets. This means converting ownership of real-world items, like corporate stocks and treasury bonds, into digital tokens. The goal is to trade traditional assets with the sub-second speed and low fees of a blockchain network. Both state-level espionage and retail finance are being pulled into this same cycle of high-speed iteration, one seeking intelligence, the other seeking profit, often at the expense of established safety protocols. But relentless acceleration is a choice. The video game Warframe just unveiled Tau, a massive expansion set in a rainy, neon-drenched cityscape. The developers at Digital Extremes first teased this system in 2019. They waited 11 full years to completely build out this narrative star chart, prioritizing methodical, patient world building over throwing out rapid content drops just to boost quarterly engagement. That long-term investment yielded deep mechanics, including a completely new class of AI companion characters with independent personalities and full voice acting that actively interact with the player's choices. Warframe's enduring success is proof that the move fast and break things mentality is a cultural habit, not a law of physics. Patient, long-term construction remains a highly rewarding alternative. The tech industry's default setting is relentless forward momentum. When the creators of these systems prioritize speed above all else, the task of creating necessary friction falls to the public and the legal system. Meta's 72-hour defeat showed us that public pushback actually works. OpenAI's revolving door of safety executives shows us that corporate self-regulation is failing. And Ghostcommit proves that we need entirely new security frameworks to protect our code. From the databases of local police networks to the underlying code running our financial markets, the digital frontier has no borders left. The future of this technology will either be a world we intentionally design through careful, deliberate friction, or a chaotic landscape we inherit by accident through unchecked speed. The choice belongs to us.